What's
Hey
up, guys?
How are you?
My turn.
No.
What's up? What's up, guys?
Hey, guys.
Okay, so that was actually semi-intentional. The part that wasn't intentional is that she was supposed to mess up, or at the very least mess up you. And I'm the one that couldn't get past hearing Stacy say "what's up." Good job, because I told her to say whatever she wanted, and it was supposed to be intended that I go for like 15 to 20 seconds. You guys attempt to follow me and say, "What are they doing?" I didn't get a second into this. Let's just be real. That was good. Let's just be real, guys. It is really hard to do anything while there's something else going on. I mentioned on Sunday night at our youth night how hard it is for me to be concentrated on a movie or family time with my family when I have my phone nearby. So I know I have to be very intentional to get rid of it, because if I want what's really important, the thing I want most in life, I have to look at it and I have to remove the things that oftentimes divert my attention from the things I want. Because I think it's true in many scenarios of life. The things that you focus your eyes on, you're eventually going to want, and because you eventually want it, you're going to eventually do everything you can to get it. And the question we've been talking about is, do we see what Jesus is doing? I mean, I think we all want what Jesus is offering us, or what Jesus is doing in front of us. I would argue, as we'll talk about actually in 2 more weeks, the things that Jesus has already done for us. We want it, but if we don't see it, whether we want it or not, it won't ultimately be the thing we get. Just the other day, this happened to me. Sunday, Hope is telling me, put the phone down, that whole fun story, but I'm attempting to watch this movie and watch the Cubs game. It's Saturday night, and the Cubs, shut up, Stacy, the Cubs are awesome, but the Cubs were playing, and it's bases loaded, and for like a half second, Hope gets my attention. And I go, what? And I hear, it's high, it's deep, and I'm like, no, what happened? I mean, I literally had diverted my eyes for a matter of a second, maybe less than that, and a pitch is thrown, and Chris Bryant hits a grand slam. So I stopped and said, hold on, I'm not missing this. I'm like, hold on, Hopi, and I actually said, hold on, Hopi, and I rewinded back to about 15 seconds to be able to see a couple more pitches and then see the home run, and Hope and I actually both celebrate. It's amazing how easy it is to miss out on the thing you're looking for if for even a second your eyes are diverted from it. Like Stacy, I couldn't get more than a second in to that funny thing, even though what I really wanted was happening right in front of me. Do we remember we've been talking about this guy, that his name is the young rich ruler or the young rich man, depending on which story you read. This is a cool story. Last week I mentioned Matthew 19, but it's also in Mark 10 and in Luke 18. So this is in all 3 of the synoptic gospels. There's 4 gospels. We call 3 of them synoptic: Matthew, Mark, and Luke. We call synoptic because they're very similar to each other. They tell a lot of the same stories, but each of them seem to add at times a interesting singular characteristic or emphasis of the story. And this is what happens in this one. You see, the guy comes to Jesus and he wants Jesus. All 3 of the stories tell us that this man clearly wants Jesus. Mark goes out of his way to clarify how much, and says that the man runs to Jesus and falls on his knees. So this is a rich man who has authority. People looked up to him. If he spoke, people listened. If he spoke, people usually concluded. If he spoke, people usually did, most likely. But this man comes in a humble, prostrate position to Jesus and said, I want you to know how much I want what I see in you, what I want and what I've heard from you, or I want what I have experienced in other people. I want what you have to offer. And so he asked Jesus, I want eternal life. And we know how the story goes. We've read it. We've talked about it now for week 2 here. The man comes seeing what Jesus has, wanting what he sees in Jesus. But before the story's over, he all of a sudden doesn't see Jesus anymore. I mean, it's interesting. The guy walks away sad, not because of Jesus. He didn't walk away sad because Jesus was offering eternal life. He didn't walk away sad because of even the demands of Jesus. He walked away sad because he had great wealth. I mean, the very thing he wanted was right in front of him. The very thing he wanted never moved. The work that Jesus was doing for that man right in front of him, the work he's doing for you and me, it hasn't moved. I mean, Jesus is omnipresent. He's everywhere. What Jesus is trying to do for you and me is right in front of us. And I think a lot of us are about to miss it. I am. I've been honest about that. In fact, Stacy, who was just on here with me, our family's going together on vacation in a few weeks, intentionally get away. And we were talking about the things we're going to do to get away from distractions so we can spend a week just growing in our relationship with Jesus. Yes, it's a vacation, but it's really a spiritual retreat to say, hey, we need to get closer to Jesus because I've been distracted. If for even a second, our eyes are diverted away from Jesus, we're going to see something. And what we see, we may ultimately want. And if we want it bad enough, we'll do everything we can to get it. Just like this man who came to see Jesus and he was distracted. Here's the crazy part for us guys, and you know this. It's not that we don't want it. It's that we have a lot of things in life we want. You see, the second type of distraction I said we're going to talk about is this distraction of being overwhelmed, where there is a lot on our plate. There are a lot of expectations. There are a lot of people telling you, you need this, depending on what grade you're in. Hey, you need to care about what friends you have. You need to care about what classes you take. You need to care about what you do on your free time. If you're older and you're thinking about college, we laughed about that. Evan said that thing, hey, let's not talk about college. I go to B&L. I mean, there's a lot of things that we are asked to juggle and to balance and to prioritize. And as Christians and as a pastor, I'm telling you, make Jesus part of your life. You see, the interesting thing is we discover with this man, the mistake that we often make that actually leaves us a distracted life, a distracted relationship with Jesus, where, yeah, we have a relationship, we know Jesus, we may see Jesus, but we often don't actually see Jesus and don't actually get Jesus. It's because we pair Jesus with everything else. I mean, do you see what this man did? I think it's easy for you and I to do. He came to Jesus and said, hey, can I have you with all of this? You see, he wanted Jesus, but he came and basically said, hey, can I add you as a dessert? Can I add you as a side to my main entree? You see, I have my life over here. I have it all figured out. I have my school, I have my extracurricular activities, I have my friends, I have my gaming life, I have my reading life, I have my social life. You know, we may have lost that for a few months, but some of you have been honest about how that's been coming back in weird ways, but very demanding. I have my life over here. Can I have Jesus with it? And Jesus's response to this man when he learns how much he really wants Jesus, but has these overwhelming priorities over here. Jesus says, would you go take all of those and get rid of them? I mean, he tells the man specifically, hey, I know you have great wealth. I know that comes with fame. I know that comes with power and authority, and it comes with prestige. Can you go sell all of that, give it away, give it to the poor, give it to those who don't have it, and then come follow me? I mean, he gives the man this proclamation. You can't always have your cake and eat it too. You can't always have this and have me. It doesn't mean you can't have both. But the problem with Jesus is simply saying this. Stop asking to have me with. Why don't you have me and ask to have it with me? Let me say that again. I think the truth is Jesus is not asking us to put away from all those things. That man still would have had money. He still would have had to handle eating food and determining how much he was going to eat and how much he was going to give. He was still going to have friends and determining whether or not he was going to worship or he's going to have these things. He was still going to have life. Life was not going to be taken from him. And in fact, all of us have the ability, we have to this day, to enjoy the life God has given us. Go read Ephesians 6. That's part of God's design, is that we get to enjoy all this. But the problem with this man is that he was making Jesus a with his life, rather than making his life with Jesus. Let me just simply ask you, is it true for you that it has been for me, guys? Please know how real this is for me. Is that I have made Jesus something that goes along with my life, rather than making Jesus my life that life goes along with. I mean, you can say this. You are not school. You are not your extracurricular activities. You're not even your relationship, because some of them change. I say it all the time as a joke, but high school relationships suck because they don't always last, right? You're not those things. Those are part of your life. But you are always Jesus's. I want to encourage you right now to take the position that Jesus said. Hey, surrender those things. Put them aside for me. You are not your wealth. You are not those things. You are mine. You are his. And make it to say, hey, I'm going to have my cake. I'm going to eat it too, because I am Jesus's. Yes, I'm going to have all these things with my life. Yes, I'm still going to go to school. You're not going to drop out. Don't do that. Please don't do that. You're still probably going to play some video games. I do it, and I get paid to be this professional Christian called a pastor, right? No. Stop making Jesus with your life. Make Jesus your life, realizing you're going to have all these things with you. Again, is Jesus your side, or is he your main entree? Because I know how difficult it is, guys. And I know how difficult it is for you to have to balance and prioritize all of these things that you know you need to do, that you have to do, that others are telling you are essential right now, and yet try to have a relationship with Jesus. I'm not here to tell you it's easy, but I'm here to tell you this. Jesus is simply telling you, would you surrender all of these things over here that are important, that you're going to have to work for, that you're going to have to prioritize? Would you surrender them to me so you can have me with all of these things, rather having them with me? Say that again. Would you please surrender all of these things to me, knowing you might get to keep a lot of them, right? Would you surrender those to me so you can have them with me, rather than having me with them? Love you guys.